Hi, everybody. We just finished up, we just wrapped up class. Let me do this a little bit. There we go. Okay. Just finished up class and wanted to cover a few things before we head out for the weekend. What we have here, if I scroll this around, oh, there we go. That might make a difference. Spin him around. He's all pretty. There we go. For those of you who wondered how to do what I just did, to pan and orbit and all that kind of stuff, it's the there it is. It's the scroll button on the mouse. So obviously there's zoom in and there's zoom out. You hold down the scroll wheel and it allows you to pan. But if you press the shift key while you pan, then that allows you to orbit. And if you hold the control key while you pan, with the scroll wheel pushed down, it allows you to move your mouse up and down and zoom in and out. So you can hold down a couple of buttons and scroll. It's a fun way of handling things. What we're missing a couple pieces right here in the front of the building. The first of which is, let me spin around to the back, we added a lovely back porch and a piece of roof to cover people and keep them from getting wet while they're sitting out on the back porch. Most people appreciate something like that by the front door. So let's take a few minutes, let's add that. I'm going to go to my ground floor. Excuse me. Okay, here we are on the ground floor. Now, on our site plan, when we added our property lines, those property lines are now visible here on the ground floor as well. I don't want to see them on my ground floor. So I select my property lines in my ground floor, right click, hide in view, category. So that didn't delete them, but it's hiding them. So there's a difference. If you say delete, that's actually push the delete key. That means your property lines go away. That means they won't show up in the site plan. Okay, back to where we started off. I'm zooming in here. You can see I'm right next to the stairs. There's my main entrance. Click on architecture, floor. I want a 4-inch concrete slab. Height offset is -1 inch because these properties should match the porch that we had on the other side of the building. Okay, click on a boundary line, zoom in, and I'm going to start right here. I'm going to zoom way in so you can see what's going on. It's this innermost corner of the porch. I'm going to come across until I intersect, whoop, there it went, the grid line. Down until I intersect the grid line. Back across until I intersect the face of the wall. And then I close it off, just like that. Click OK. All right. So if I look at my 3D view, okay, you can see I've got a little entry porch there. Let's put a cover on that. This time, because I want to create a roof, I'm going to my second floor. And we're putting this in almost the exact same spot. So architecture tab, roof, basic roof, 8-inch asphalt shingle, all that's good. I'm going to start by drawing lines, but instead of using the edge of the metal, the exterior face of the wall, I want the intersection of these columns, or these grid lines, I should say. And I'm going to come across to the grid line, down to the grid line, across to the grid line, and close it off. Click OK. Alrighty, back to my 3D view. I'm going to spin around. Now you'll notice, if I spin around to the back, this roof that I created is much closer to the top edge of the doors than this one is. So a quick way to accommodate that is I'm going to select this roof. You can see it's a base level at the second floor, but here's my base offset from that level. So where am I moving this relative to the actual level, the second floor level? And you can see its base offset value is at -1 foot 0.75 of an inch. So I'm going to highlight this value, select Control C, so copy on the Windows keyboard. I could also right click, if it will let me, For whatever reason, my right click doesn't want to work. Fine. So highlight everything, Control C, select nothing. Pan back around. I don't want to go that far. I need to see what I'm doing. Select my new roof that I just created. Here's my base level. Highlight everything, Control V, and apply, and you'll see that drop right down. Now I've got a covered porch to match up with everything else. Yay, it's all wonderful. Okay, that was super duper easy. Let's get one more thing going, but to do this, I'm going to use a site plan. So let's open our site plan view. You'll notice that there's no driveway, and nothing like a driveway. You know, here in the 3D view, there's nothing that kind of functions like a driveway. Most people like to drive up on something other than grass in their front yard. So on my site plan view, I'm going to click on Massing and Site, and I'm going to come over here and click on Subregion. And for the subregion, I'm going to start right here at this intersection, which is the intersection of D and 5. So intersection D5, just like I'm playing Battleship. D5, hit! So left click there, drag, draw a line down to E, draw a line over to 4. From here, I drag down and I go 25 feet. And then from here, I go straight across until I hit the end of my topo surface. So your dimension there should read 54 foot 1 1/2 inches. It ought to. And if it doesn't, it shouldn't be off by more than an inch. So I'm going to select, click there. I'm going to go up basically until I hit the midpoint of this topo surface, if it'll let me. Yeah, it won't let me. Oh, there it is. There it is, the midpoint. And then come down and close this off. Now I actually want this line to be straight. It's obviously a weird angle. I want the line to be straight, so I'm going to use my Align tool. The first item I select is what I'm aligning to, in this case grid D. The next item is what I'm modifying to that point, so I want to select this line. There we go. That's exactly what I want it to be. Finish my sketch mode. Now it doesn't look like much of anything has changed until we get back to our 3D view. So you can see it's kind of split this piece out of the, it's taken this piece out of the overall topography, and it allows us to create a, to put a different material on it. So I'm going to click on my material, and I want cast in place concrete. So CONC, concrete, cast in place gray. That's the material I want to use right there. Now there is a surface pattern for this material, but topo surfaces don't like surface patterns. So that's what this whole error is. Basically, we're telling Revit, yeah, okay, I get it. You don't like what I'm doing, but you'll show it to me as best as you can. That's fine. I'm happy with it. I'll click OK. So now we have something that really looks like a driveway, and then you go up and there's a step up into the house. So that it looks a little more polished in my mind. There we go. Okay, those are the only tweaks that we need to make right now for the site plan. We're going to come back and get a little more stuff. We're going to start working on our sheet by sheet review here in a minute. We'll see you guys in the next video.